Oh boy. Alright, so I'm deciding to do something a little different today, because I'm lazy and I don't feel like recording slash editing slash posting any video games, and like no one's on right now, even though it's like 2 in the afternoon when I'm recording this. So I'm going to rank my 2 favorite bands, their albums, S to F, how I feel about them. My 2 favorite bands are Green Day and Weezer, so I'm just gonna go right into it, just because it seems kind of fun. 39 Smooth. The first Green Day album. Oh, this is just kind of like the compilation one. That's 1,000 Hours, 39 Smooth, Slappy EP, all that kind of mixed into one. How I feel about this is not great. It is their earliest album, but in my opinion, it is one of their worst. It has some good songs on it, like Paper Lanterns, I guess. So meh. Paper Lanterns, Dry Ice, 409 My Coffee Grind, or Coffee Maker. I'll go with D. D seems like fair for it. Now we're on to Kerplunk. Kerplunk is actually one of my favorite albums by them. I'd give it a B? Yeah, let's go with B. I like a lot of the songs on it. Welcome to Paradise, the original version, is really good. One of My Lies is one of my favorite songs. Who Wrote Hole in Caulfield? All great songs. Dookie, probably the album that everyone knows them for, or at least everyone born before like 2000, even though I'm born in 2000. I love this album. I'm giving an S just because it definitely deserves it. Every song on here, start to finish, is fantastic. I can listen to this album whenever I want to, and literally, it's a good time listening to it. Insomniac, my favorite album by them. I like it a little more than Dookie, just because, it's a little more emotional, it's a little more raw sounding. It's more punk, in my opinion, and I know that's like a very general term, because punk's a big genre, but yeah. Nimrod. How do I feel about Nimrod? It has a lot of good songs on it, like The Grouch, Hitchin' a Ride, Nice Guys Finish Last. It's just, like, there's a lot of not very great songs, like Take Back, Last Ride In, which is just the instrumental, which, like, it's a nice instrumental, but it's not a good song. C. Oh, but it has Good Riddance. It has Good Riddance, has King for a Day. Worry Rock 2. I'll give it B. I'd say it's the same as Kerplunk. Warning. Why isn't it on here? Hello? It just skips to American Idiot. Alright, sick. I lost the file. Oh, here it is. Alright. Warning. A lot of people say this album is extremely underrated. However, I think a lot of the songs are just kind of eh. Waiting's good, Misery's really good, it's a really experimental song, and I really like it. But, just overall, it's not a very, like... It's different, and I really like when Green Day does things that are a little different. But I wouldn't say it's that great. I'd give it C. If any Green Day fans happen to stumble upon this, they're going to eat me alive. American Idiot. I like American Idiot a lot. I like every song on it. My favorite song is on it, Letterbomb, which is what I'm named after. My username's Letterbomb. Used to be Brad Murph. Sometimes my name is still Brad Murph in some videos. American Idiot's a fantastic intro. Jesus Suburbia is one of the greatest songs I've ever heard, and definitely one of the best by them. Yeah, I'd give it S. I was gonna say A, but it definitely deserves S. It has so many good songs. 21st Century Breakdown. It did a lot of what American Idiot did, and changed it, and made it better in some ways, and not as good in some ways. Like, I see a lot of similarities, between the 2 albums, but I definitely say that American Idiot tops 21st Century Breakdown in this case, but 21st Century Breakdown is a fantastic album. Like, Well, also another one of my favorite. Green Day just has really good music. Oh, but the trilogy. We're on the trilogy now. Okay. For those of you who don't know, Green Day released 3 albums in like a 6-month span or something back in 2012. That had good songs, decent songs, and a lot of not so great songs. However, Uno, I will say, has a lot of good songs, but it's not up there for me. I give Uno C. Ooh, that's weird. There's like a weird texture glitch going on with it. I give Uno C. Dose. I hate Dose. This is my least favorite album by them. I would give it E, if not F. I'm going to give it F. I absolutely hate this album. Now, there are a lot of good songs on it, like Lazy Bones. Or not a lot, but there's a couple good songs on it, like Stray Heart and Lazy Bones. Other than that, nothing really stands out to me. There's the cringy Fuck Time song, which, oh my god, I hate that song with a passion. It has a really cool solo, but it's such a weird song. Trey. Trey is my favorite of the trilogy, which I know a lot of people are going to disagree with that if they're Green Day fans. It has a lot of really good songs on it. It has a really good outro song. It's a little different than Green Day's usual outro songs. The Forgotten's the name of the song. I like Trey of maybe actually, because there's a lot of songs on Uno that I also like, and Trey has that really good opener though. But Nuclear Family. Brutal Love and Nuclear Family are 2 of the best openers I've heard on Green Day albums. You know what? This is a tough one. I'm going to put it in C for now and tie it with Uno, and then I'll come back to it later. Revolution Radio. Their most recent album they've released. I really liked it. However, it was a little trouble with the mixing, it sounds like, on some songs, like Outlaws. So I give it a B. It's really good. I really like it. Definitely take a listen to it. The first single that they released for it was Bang Bang, and I remember the day that they released it, and it was fantastic. I still love the song. I still listen to it all the time. Now we're moving on to Weezer. So Green Day I had been listening to since I was like 9 years old. Weezer is fairly new to me. I listened to Blue, Pinkerton, and Green when I was and a little bit of Red when I was like 12 or 13, but then I kind of like dropped off for a while, but then I just started listening to them the last year or so. I am not a mega fan. I don't know a lot of the details of the band or anything like that. I've listened to all of these albums though, front to back. I really like all their music. However, there's a couple albums that stand out a little more. So I'm going chronological, by the way. So we're going to start with Blue. Blue is one of the best albums I've heard ever. It is fantastic. I'd put it up there with American Idiot, Dookie, and Insomniac for me. It is songs like Surf Wax America, Say It Ain't So is like the pinnacle Weezer song, in my opinion, and it's fantastic. Only in Dreams is I really like long songs, so like Jesus Suburbia is a good one, Dirty Rotten Bastards is a good one, and then I know it's not technically a long song, but American Eulogy is also a really good one. It's a 2-part song. Yeah, I really like Only in Dreams. It's a good closer on that album. Pinkerton. Pinkerton is one of my friends back in college, and I really love this album a lot. I give this album an S, like automatically. Pinkerton is like the Insomniac for Weezer. It's the more emotional album, it's the more raw album that came after one of the bigger hits that they had. So like Dookie came before Insomniac, and it was a huge hit. Insomniac is also a huge hit, but like it was different. Blue was a huge hit, and Pinkerton actually was not a huge hit, actually. I should rephrase that. Later on, it became a big hit with fans, but initially it was kind of like shit on release. Green. I don't even think I should have to talk about this. Green, it's not bad, actually. Green is, E's fair. Green didn't do anything new and exciting. Like, Photograph is a good song. Island in the Sun, of course, is a good song. Hash Pipe is a good song. But, like, everything else is just kind of, like, bland and not very like interesting or exciting. I kind of have the same feeling. Oh, people are not gonna like me for this. With Maladroit, Maladroit's the same thing to me. I will say it's a little bit. It reminds me a lot more of Pinkerton and the Blue album. So I will give that a D instead. I definitely think it kind of was like a return to style for them after they went kind of poppy with Green. Make Believe. A lot of people shit on Make Believe, and yeah, it's not great, but it's not horrible. I'd still give it D. Perfect Situation's a really good song. Beverly Hills is like it's like a clever song. I just feel like it's not as good as their other albums, like Red, for example. I really like the Red album. Troublemaker is a really good song. Greatest Man Who Ever Lived. Yeah. Pork and Beans. And The Angel and the One. That song is beautiful, so I'm gonna put that at B because I really like that album. Oh boy, Ratitude. On the same level it does. It's a really good intro song. If you're wondering if I Want You To, I Want You To. Really good intro song. It's very poppy. It's very like upbeat. But I feel like they just tried to make it too dancey, like too dancey of an album. Like Can't Stop Partying, which I always joke is the greatest song they've ever written. When it's fucking, it feels like a midlife crisis in a song. I know a lot of people say that, but like it definitely like that was like one of the first thing I said was like wow. Yeah, it's not very good. The closer on the album isn't bad. It's just not very Weezer to me. It's very poppy. And yeah, Ratitude. Not much to say about that one. Just not very good. Hurley. This is the most recent one I've been listening to. I really like Hurley. I was initially, if I had done this like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, I would definitely put Hurley at like D tier. But I've been listening to it a lot more. I give it an A. I think I'd give it an A. It's really good. The 2 first songs on it are really good. Where's My Sex is a funny song. I really like that song. Trainwrecks, I really like that song too. I know it's very poppy as well, and I just really like it. I really like Hurley. Everything Will Be Alright in the End, the next one. I really like this album. I think every song, except for, I don't like Cleopatra that much. The White Album is probably my favorite album by then, maybe tied with Pinkerton. In Blue in this case. I'm just gonna put it up there. It's very California Kids is one of the greatest songs they've ever written in my opinion. It's very much just this. It's a great album. Do You Want to Get High is kind of like, it kind of reminds me of Pinkerton's songs and maybe Blue songs too. The bonus tracks too are also really good. I Love the USA. It's kind of a weird one, but like I really like the piano in it. And yeah, I really love it. But then they followed it up with Pacific Daydream. Now, if I was going by album art, this would be number 1. I love the album art on this album. That's what made me initially want to listen to it. However, the songs on it are not that great. Mexican Fenders is a solid intro. It's not great. I would give it E because it's Mexican Fender and Feels Like Summer are the only ones that really stand out to me in that album. The Teal album, the cover album. I really like cover albums. However, I acknowledge like it's not a very extensive cover album. They kind of played it safe with how close they were to the original songs. However, I'd give it a C. It's fun to listen to. I listen to it when I'm driving a lot. You know, it's exciting. The Black Album came back in February, I think, of this year. I like the Black Album. I like a lot of the songs on it. High as a Kite, The Prince Who Wanted Everything. Oh my gosh. Can't Knock the Hustle and Zombie Bastards are a lot of my favorite songs on here. If I had to give it a score though, I'd give it about a C. Kind of same as Warning. It's decent. It's not great though. Not a lot of songs stood out to me. Byzantine's kind of good. Living in LA was kind of a it's a good song, but it's so odd for Weezer in my opinion. There's just not enough guitar in this album too. Like I like a lot more guitar in the albums. So this is my tier list. And I know like a lot of you are gonna disagree with me. I know. Oh God. I have a feeling people are gonna disagree with me about Hurley for sure. Warning for sure, because people love Warning. They're gonna hate me for Dose, because a lot of people, their favorite album from the trilogy is Dose. Trey, they're gonna be mad that I put it so high up. Oh man, I just realized I put Warning on the same level as 2 of the trilogy albums. Oof. Looking at this, would I change anything? Yes, I would actually. I put Red up 1. The Red album's pretty good. I really like the Red album. Yeah, I give it A. I think I'd push Warning up too. I feel like Warning, although like I don't find it to be like a lot of people, like I said, a lot of people call it underrated. I kind of feel like they've done that so much now that it's almost overrated, the amount of times that people say that. Yeah, but I'd say it's fair on the same level as like Nimrod, Rev Rad, and Kerplunk for me. Just a little disclaimer. This is my opinion. You're allowed to disagree with it. This is just how I feel about the music that I listen to and that I've been listening to a lot recently. We'll get back to the regularly scheduled, randomly uploaded gaming videos eventually. I just wanted to put something out there. Plus, I've been listening to music a lot, so I felt like doing it. If you disagree with me, leave some comments about how you feel about that. If you agree with me on some things, let me know too. Like, be cool to hear. I'm not making this as like a you have to agree with me type of thing. This is just how I feel about it, and if you haven't listened to either of these bands, I definitely recommend them. They're fantastic. I'm sure you've heard a lot of songs by Green Day and Weezer, and you just haven't realized it. So definitely check them out if you haven't. See you guys next time for a gaming upload.